that loves, it's Hope Sivan here with a very special video. Now pretty much everyone knows about the award-winning show Gravity Falls. But this video is really all about the creator, Alex Hirsch. So sit back and enjoy listening to me fangirl over one amazingly awesome human being. Now, most of the voices Alex did for Gravity Falls are very well known, but there might still be some that will surprise you. He was going called Stan, Zeus, Old Man McGucket and his son, Quentin Tremblay, the Gnomes, most notably Jeff and Strebulok, and I'm supposing by default Norman, Nate in the episode The Love Guy, the Mattress Prince, aka the King of Mini-Golf, the Crackling Skull in Summoning Superstore, Joey Twinkleheart, Jimmy, the announcer for the Duchess Approves, Laser Tag, and Digicard, Mayor Befumpter, Bill Cipher, Dippy Fresh, and he shared the role of voicing members of several times with Matt Chapman and Lace Bass, much to his sister Ariel Joy, who's a huge fan of the singer. Well, yes, but he didn't really say any words, which honestly makes me feel that the gulping and the sighing was really just Alex himself. Do you know how expensive Coward is? Also, doesn't this count as me talking to myself?
Maybe a little.
Anywho, moving on. Alex has lent his voice to other characters in other shows, too. He cameoed on Phineas and Ferb as Officer Concord, Juice Time Juice Box Flavor Cop, and on Rick and Morty as Tony Matthews. He was also the voice of Clemantha from the Disney show Fish Hook, where he also played her dad, Fumble, this police officer Fish, and Ferb. Oh, if all that wasn't enough for you, then listen to what he had to say when someone asked him about his voice work.
The question was, is there any character that's a strain on my voice? I do a lot of voices on the show because when I was a kid, I did a lot of annoying voices just to bother my sister. And now they pay me to do it, which is amazing. I would say probably the most taxing voice is actually Bill, just because it's a high-pitched shout. That he has no inside voice, Bill. He doesn't understand social roles, like don't scream in everyone's faces. Probably the second hardest to do is Stan. Stan I could do for a while. It actually doesn't hurt my throat, but it starts to give me a headache after a while. Just like because I'm hearing that and my mouth is this close to my ears. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and he rarely speaks at normal speaking volume. Everything's kind of in that like, step right up to the Mystery Shack like mode. You know what I mean? Like every now and then it's like, hey Mabel, sweetie, give me some flapjacks, would you? I love these! Like then he gets loud again. So it's rarely something that lets up.
Okay, I can understand the struggle he would have with Bill's voice. Oh man, after Wordmageddon. Oh boy. Wow. But Stan? Question, how?
I'll rewind your face!
Just how?
Avenge me, kids! Avenge me!
How is it possible for him to pull off that voice, and apparently unless he's singing, it doesn't bother his vocal cords, and what about Old Man McGucket?
You can run, but I'll still be in your nightmares!
Or Clemantha?
I can be your cum.
How?
Because either Alex made a deal with Bill, or he really is Bill. Or would that be Bill? Or I'm just new to the whole voice acting thing. Yeah, the last one probably is the real answer, but I like the first one more, so I'm gonna run with it. And it gives me the excuse to use this picture I found. Of course, his talents don't just extend to the mic. Alex has worked as a storyboard artist and screenwriter on The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack as well as Gravity Falls. He was also a writer on Fish Hooks as well as the executive producer, and he was the creative director for the pilot episode. Oh, and let's not forget about all those different films he made. You know, the ones that without most of us would not even know what Gravity Falls was, or even who Alex even is. That is a sad thought. Let's move on. Now this is where the real fun begins. 4, 3, 2, 1, kick it!
No speech. No, this is all I have in my pocket.
If you like what you see on the screen, throw all the waddles that you have at us. No, don't do that. You'll be injured. When I pitched the show to Disney, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I just like loaded this kid's show up with like weird Masonic looking symbols? You know, like some guy out there who really believes that like they're infiltrating the media, like just make them insane.
I feel weird.
The initial impetus was just, hey, I've got a national television show, what would freak people out?
I was just like, wouldn't it be great if Dipper was being literally tortured for no reason?
Horrifying, otherworldly howl.
A forbidden love has come to pass. Only these two, only Gideon, and only loves. Gideon's OTP for life,
Robbie is very, very upset about the breakup. He has been updating his Facebook constantly about how heartbroken he is, Instagramming photos of him crying in the cemetery.
She pulls a guy into camera. It's a strange dude wearing a hoodie. He's got a vacant stare, twigs sticking out of his jacket. Seems somewhat lobotomized, like the guy from Twilight if he were hit by a bus.
How many sweaters has Mabel ever designed? How many stars are there in the sky, my friend?
Grunkle Stan does all the voices. He's actually puppeteering me right now. So.
The runner-ups are Danielle, Jeremy, and Gertie. Here's your prize.
I think the weirdest that somebody sent me a piece of their baby blanket and a piece of a violin string they had when they were a child and like writing in cursive and there was perfume on it. It was very sweet. It was very sweet. Very sweet wherever you are. Just a little weird.
Okay, well we love Doctor Who, so just give him a bowler hat or something, I don't know. Make him as much like Doctor Who or Jack Skellington as possible, because that's what we do.
And see, according to this hat, I am Gryffindor.
Off I go. Oh, got a shark!
I'd probably quantum leap into Dreamscapers and be Bill. Whoa. Please pick Bill. Because it's fun to mess with people.
I was like, I want to write something and trip up the voice actor, and then I ended up doing it. It was kind of fun. Now I turn to the Duchess Cruise, starring Sterling Stimmelberg as the Duchess, and Reverend St. Bunderfile as Master Coxswain, so look at him, Bunderfile.
When it comes to questions like that, I cannot answer them. They are spoiler questions. I'm sorry. I have an object here that might distract you from that question.
Even though Mabel acts happy and sunshiny all the time, thank you, Mabel. She's listening. Even though she's learning her own future right now. Spoiler alert, Mabel.
Dipper, Mabel, and Stan are all aliens, and Grunkle Stan is actually a puppet controlled by plant people. So post that, put that on your Twitters. Just tell everyone, Aliens and Plant People, Season 2.
Internet history is just pictures that happen. High res, it's super weird. I went.
Puberty happened at that moment.
I love it. I've never looked so beautiful.
When you work at Disney, there's a fairy dust in the air, and you actually age backwards. I'm Benjamin Buttoning as we speak, before your very eyes.
But you know those aren't even a handful of examples, right? Oh no. He's just so entertaining. And if you were to ask me what one thing Alex did or said that made me laugh the most, I honestly couldn't pick. This, however, is definitely one of my favorites.
It was near the end of season 1 that I saw the first post. Alright everybody, here's the Grunkle Stan Fantasy the Twins solid. Crap! They're on to us! And we had a choice at that point. Somebody said, geez, they figured it out, should we just change the whole backstory? And I was like, no, I love that story. That's a story about our characters. We have a choice, between making the story we set out to make, or just flipping it upside down and be like contrarian, like, haha, fool you. But we are contrarian, we do love fooling people, so we figured to have our cake and eat it, like, let's see if we can try to create a little bit of a lead. Let's see if we can try to fake out the name of the guy, it's the author, because we teased that at the beginning of season 1. One of our writers, Josh Weinstein, actually worked on The Simpsons on the Who Shot Mr. Burns episode, and they were so secretive that they animated
like 3 different fake endings to that just in case they believed they were prepared for it. And I was like, what's the modern equivalent of what they did back then? 4chan. So, yeah, no, that's exactly it. I mean, it's just like we were all having lunch, eating sandwiches, and it popped into our heads like, I'll bet in about an hour and a half we can make it convincingly. All right, Joe, you do these sketches, Ian, you pick the background. All right, Kevin, the editor, put up some time code, it's fake, it doesn't mean anything. Snap, snap. All right. Put on a hazmat suit, hold my nose going into 4chan. And just like type like, hey, I'm not sure Disney, I saw this spoiler question. And then I was like, all right, let's hang out on Tumblr, let's keep refreshing until somebody reblogs it. And it took about 3 minutes. And then I went on Twitter, tweeted, viewing right now, counted to 10, deleted it. As I was saying before, like, everything is an experiment. You're just like, my hypothesis, it works so well, so bad. And it was interesting because at first everyone was like, oh, like people like tweeting me like, I'm so sorry that you spoiled the show. You worked so hard. Like people was like, guys, so Alex Hirsch is sobbing in his office. Stand by the fans, never reply to that. I'm like, alright, this has gotten out of hand. But I knew I've been now I got a line that I got about a year until I could reveal the truth. So finally, as soon as it was time and the guy had been revealed, not the opera, there was a convention where I like came out and was like, alright, everyone, it was a fake, and like, at first everyone was like, that's really funny, that's great, you troll us, you troll. That's the word we use to describe the prank. And then like, sort of over time, it became like, I'd be like, alright, everybody, the next episode is on Monday at 9, and they're like, you trolled us again, master. Dark Lord, we don't believe your lies. That's what this is going to be now. I don't tweet false information. Like, I want people to know what's like coming as best as I can. Like, I want, like, that was a weird isolated incident for our one big secret, you know what I mean? Like, but no one will ever believe me for the rest of my life. I know, I probably should start doing more pranks because, like, I already have this reputation, but, like, I genuinely do want people to, like, everything I do is literally just to try to increase enjoyment. Like, I'll see people will tweet me like, you drink our tears, you love our suffering. You Rebecca Sugar dancing in our blood. It's like, Rebecca, what are they talking about? She's like, just stay away. Like, everything you do is for you guys to have a great time. Like, it's the literal opposite. Like, I know it's like a weird meme joke, but like, literally, like everything we do is to try to make an enjoyable show. Like, when I tried that fake out, I was like, oh, it bumps me out that some people are going to know beforehand. Well, maybe if there's credible alternate theories, we'll be surprised at least a couple of people. Like, I'm just trying to create surprise. You know what I mean? Like, everything is to maximize enjoyment. So, yeah, I mean, that's what that was. You know what I mean? Like, it was fun. I have no regrets, but I do now know that like there's always going to be like that one guy. Like, enjoy saying that. Have fun. So yeah.
How many of you remember that? I bet a lot of you. That was fun. Fun times. Fun times were had. But even with all that being said, Alex still shows he's an incredible human being with a big heart. Not only did he create the twins Dipper and Mabel's beautiful relationship, but it was also inspired by the relationship he shares with his own twin Ariel. And as many of the fans know, when she and Alex were kids, Ariel longed to have a pet pig of her own, but for one reason or another, wasn't able to. So Alex decided to give Mabel, the character that took inspiration from his silly, fun-loving sister, a pet pig named Waddles. Now those do show the big heart that Alex has, but that big heart also extends to his fans. Every time he was at a convention, nearly every panel was a Q&A, and he always made sure there was time for him to give autographs to his fans and to really interact with them, no matter how little time he actually had. And do you know how many interviews he's done? Q&As, podcasts, articles I had to look up just to make sure I was ready to do this? Just trust me when I say that there is a lot of them. Like, really a lot. On one of the podcasts he was on, he answered questions as Uncle Stan, staying completely in character. The closest thing I can compare this to was when Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb was on Shark Tank. But that show's on ABC, which is owned by the Disney company. The hosts of the podcast Alex was on are just two fans who don't really have any connections to Disney or its empire. At least none that I could find in my research. And I did a buttload of research for this, trust me. Oh, but there's more. Alex even attempts to answer all the fan mail he gets. The thing is, there's a lot of us. And,
saw on your panel at Comic-Con, you said that you used to respond to all the fan letters, but you've gotten so many fans now, you can't respond to all of them.
Yes, I know how Santa Claus feels now. It's too much. No, it's true.
The beard, right?
Little by little, I'm working on it. No, when we first started, fan mail started trickling in. I remember the first letter. It was like, I was so excited. It was like the first, flake of snow of winter, and then just an avalanche. I was keeping it up for a few months, and then I took a break for a week, and when I came back, the pile was insurmountable.
So I'm okay with you not responding to my letter then.
So I'm really
okay,
sorry.
Now I understand.
that says enough, I think. But he still continues to try to engage with fans as much as he can. And I think that's just awesome. In fact, take a look at this little sugar I found.
I don't know if you can do this or not, but my friend Alice here, it's her birthday today, and she really loves your character Seuss, and I wanted for you to sing happy birthday to her.
How much are you willing to pay? Alright, this one goes out to my BFF. What's her name? Alice? Like the Wonderland Alice? Alice, this song just been entered public domain, so I can sing it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Alice Student Pro. You're my best friend in the world. Happy birthday to you. Since 2015!
Oh, and he also did this.
Darla, sorry you had to wait.
Darla, she is great.
Sorry you had to wait.
See? He's just so wonderful. Now, truth be told, I've never been to a convention once in my life. I've only read stories and seen videos of those who have actually gotten to meet us in person. And I know that's something that can't be matched by a dream like the one I had. I've read he has a look of kindness and determination in his eyes that you can only experience when he's right there in front of you in the flesh. I can only hope that one day I can look him in the eye and see all that, and to tell him something I've wanted to say for the longest time. Until then, I guess this will have to do. Now, bear with me, you guys. This part will be hard for me, but I feel it needs to be done. Hi, Alex. My name is Stevan, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video I've made for you. I wanted to do something to say thank you, and to hopefully express my gratitude for what you have done for me personally, and this was my way of doing that. I'm not sure if or when you'll see this, and just the thought that you might see this and might be watching is making it very tricky for me to keep my cool, but I'm doing my best. Due to my past for multiple reasons, I've developed a defense that now I have a difficult time remembering things, especially things from when I was around Dipper and Mabel's age, and even younger. The memories are either non-existent, even when I hear stories from family and friends, or they're just so fuzzy, I can't be sure if it's really a memory of something that happened, something that actually happened, or if it's a memory of a dream that I had. Basically, there were just very few things that I remember from my childhood. But the things that I do remember were rekindled and brought back to life because of Gravity Falls. Blue's Clues, Inuyasha, the original Yu-Gi-Oh!, the original Sherlock Holmes series, lots of Goosebumps books, Tim Burton's films, to name a few, came back to me, flooding my mind as I watched this incredible show. It's funny how the part of my childhood I can remember involved mind games and solving mysteries and cracking codes and fighting monsters. Just like what happens in Gravity Falls. it became so special to me. It wasn't a show, it literally was my life. Gravity Falls reminded me of some of that creativity and joy of imagination I had, all of which originally drove my desire to entertain people with stories and with characters. Gravity Falls gave me back my childhood. That's only one reason for me to say a big thank you. The other one is that you, Alex, helped me see a brighter future. I always wanted to entertain people. I always loved making people react, to make them think, to make them laugh, to make them cry. The problem was, I wasn't always sure how I wanted to do it, or who I wanted to be, who I wanted to become as a career. I did choose to be a theater major, but I never really was able to focus on what that really meant. I was taking classes and learning literally everything that occurred. Not just being on stage, but also backstage and screenwriting and playwriting and costuming and makeup and all of it. But I had no focus on a set career path. I knew there was something out there for me, a place for me, but I couldn't seem to grasp what it was. And during that time, I found the show, and I remembered an obsessive clam and being amazed that a full-grown man, that voice came out of a full-grown man. And this new, at the time new, show full of amazing characters and a wonderfully entertaining story came into my life. I wanted to know more. And now that person has forever changed my life. You, Alex, you've changed my life. You've helped me grow. Even if you don't know you did. Your show gave me back my childhood and helped me remember what originally gave me inspiration and a love of great stories. And your dedication to not only Gravity Falls, but to your fans and to everything that you have a passion for just fuels me so much. I know what I want to do now, and I have you to thank for it. My dreams are so much brighter. I don't think I have enough words to express how much this means to me, Alex. And I cannot say enough how much I would love to meet you in person and to personally be able to say thank you. Thank you, Alex. Everything.